Hi everyone, and welcome back to Car Project Central. On this episode we are going to be working again on our Audi A3. We have one more large problem to sort out on the A3, which is that it's got a very saggy headliner. It's a very common problem in especially the VW Audi cars of this era. They all seem to have this headliner which has this foam or this glue that just disintegrates under a lot of heat and obviously over time. So what we've done is we've removed a whole bunch of parts off the ceiling of the car. Unfortunately I didn't actually video us removing a lot of that stuff, but it's actually really simple. All you got to do is get a pry tool or get a screwdriver and very carefully pry off some of the pieces. You'll see the box of pieces that we have here. Sorry, just ignore that one. So with all these little interior lights, basically you just want to use a little pry tool. They just have little tabs holding them in, so there's no screws. With all the grab handles, you will actually need to have a Torx screwdriver. I'll just show you one over here. So that's a Torx bolt. So you'll need to get a Torx for that. But it just unscrews, so it's actually really simple. You just got to lift up this tab and then it unscrews, and then you get your whole grab handle off. This center light was a little bit tricky, but again wasn't too bad. You just got to undo all of these tabs that hold it into place. So you can see there are some tabs here that hold it in, and then there's a big connector in the middle that you need to disconnect. And then once we get all that off, we should be able to pull off the headliner. It's actually in two pieces, so this fabric isn't actually what's holding the headliner in place. There's actually a board that goes around the headliner, so you can actually pull it off in one rigid piece, and then we can start working on it and figure out what to do with the headliner. Okay, so we managed to get the sun visors off as well. The trick with these is that you have to push in this little metal tab, so you can see the hole for the tab on the socket of the connector. So you have to make sure you push that in, and then you pull out the connector. You have to pull quite hard, but it should come out, and then you should have your sun visor out as well. Okay, so for these sun visor holders, basically there's just a little plastic cover that you need to get off. Unfortunately it does need quite a bit of force to get off. But you should be able to take that off, and then there's no screws underneath. It's just all held in by little clips. You can see here we've taken off the other one, and it looks like that, and that's what the cover looks like. It's just got these little tabs holding the cover in, so you just got to use a screwdriver or a pry tool and pry it open. You're going to remove quite a bit of trim around the headliner as well. So this is the back piece. It's just held in by these metal tabs. Okay, finally getting the headliner out. Luckily we've got a hatchback, so it's pretty easy just to get it out the back. Just drop the seats down. You just got to make sure that you basically push up all of these edges from the other trim. And then that should loosen up your headliner. There's a couple of these little clips as well, just to be aware of, but otherwise it should be pretty easy to take out once you've got all the other bits and pieces. So now that the headliner is out, we can actually see what the problem is. The issue is that there's all this orange foam stuff, and all this orange foam actually just disintegrates inside the headliner, and it separates from the board of the headliner. The fabric separates from the board. So there's really not much we can do about this. We did actually buy a can of spray adhesive, but to be honest with you, it's just there's no way we're going to be able to fix this with some adhesive. So one of my friends has suggested that we take it to an interior upholsterer and just get the headliner completely redone. This material is probably not that expensive, so we're going to just see if we can get the upholsterer to redo the whole thing. And the other thing is, it's going to look a lot better as well if the upholsterer does it, because if we redo this and we have to put this all back on, it's definitely not going to look the same as stock. So there's really no point for us spending all that time and energy trying to do that when we can just take this. Luckily this headliner just comes off as one piece, so we can just take this whole piece to the upholsterer, and we may need to do some prep work, we may need to do some tidying up. I'll ask them exactly what they want us to do, and then we'll take it to them, and hopefully that'll come out really nice and we'll be able to put it back in. So this is what the car looks like without any headliner. It's actually not that bad. There's a lot of people online suggesting that, you know, you just don't run any headliner, or you just take the fabric off and spray paint the board, and then it's absolutely fine. So it doesn't look too bad. I mean, some of the lights and some of the interior fittings don't really work, but apart from that, it's actually not too bad. So this is what you should end up with once you've taken your headliner off as well. Alright, we're just reattaching the headliner in the Audi. It's been recovered, so it's no longer sagging, and we're just going to put it back in. It's pretty much the same process as installation, removal. Basically you're just doing everything in reverse, so everything that you've taken out you should now put back in. So we've got to put all of these bits back into the car. Alright, so I'm at the back of the car. You're going to want to make sure that this back bit is on top of the headliner before you do all the bits on the front. So just make sure that this is all lined up properly, otherwise you won't be able to get that into where it's meant to go. And there's also one on the other side as well, so just make sure the headliner is actually slotted in place. Alright, I think we've just finished putting the headliner back in. Check that out, guys. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? It looks just like brand new. The color is a little bit different to stock, but it's definitely a lot more modern. It's a less yellow color, and it makes the car look really, really fantastic. Really like new again. So I think pretty much this car is ready to go now. We haven't really got any other issues that we're looking to fix. So hopefully you'll see this car on Trade Me, and I don't know, maybe one of you guys will end up buying it. See you next time.